What? Where is it? Where am I? There I am. Where's the screen? There it is. Okay. Hello, everybody. We are here with Lookouts. Let me go to their page one more time because I don't know where I put the trigger warning and content warning things. It doesn't have a starting screen, so I'm assuming it's a little bit short. Oh, it's 5 to 6 hours of reading time. So, Lookouts is a romance visual novel about two gay trans masc outlaws in the Old West finding refuge in each other and a little hope for a better life. Content and trigger warning. Content warning for alcohol, smoking, gun violence, gun death, blood, injury, mild transphobia, discussions of racism, and settler violence. None of the injuries are described in great detail, but there are some visual aids and allusion/light description. Viewer discretion is advised. So, with that being said, shall we begin with this? I guess, yeah? Alright. Let me turn off the visual novel, the Walking Dogs music. Hello, Akira. The VN from last time? No, it's a different VN about trans masc cowboys in the Old West. So yeah, this one is going to be a little interesting. Apparently it has a good pacing to it, so we most likely will be done with this in two playthroughs. So yeah, let's get started. So, you sure we can trust this friend of yours' info? It'll be a crying shame if you're wrong about this.
This guy is someone to ride the river with. He'd never sell me bunk information. And that town has struck gold. That's what he heard.
Heard? He just heard about it. What kind of source is that? We can't go off of rumors, you nutcase.
But think about it. We'll be living in like English kings if we take over a supply like that. Well, what else are we gonna do? The last job was a bust. We got nothing left.
Alright. We've had some bad luck and are running low on supplies. We'll take that town by the hook or by crook. And if they don't have that gold, we can take them for what they do have and skedaddle. The lookouts will go early in the morning and see what we're up against. But I reckon we can bulldoze this burg and have some fun either way. Make sure to bring us back some juicy details, won't you, tomboy? He firmly slaps you on the back. Laughter fills the camp around the roaring fire. Sounds like you'll be riding at sunup to check the town out. You feel it's best to get some sleep. Also, there'll be light, I believe they said light transphobic comments in here. Mild transphobia, so just a heads up for everyone. The desert is an orange haze, scorched sands whip up around your horse's legs. The sun's hot against your back as you ride towards the town. Ooh, I like this. I don't know why it doesn't let me look out. There's not much to be done while riding. The desert is lonely, harsh, bare. Only thing to do is think. You don't like being alone with your thoughts so often for so long. But you always are alone as a lookout. Alone being the old stick of the gang no one talks to unless he needs something. I think I need to raise my mic volume a little bit higher than that. Or maybe lower it. Lower this and lower that. We're doing a lot of things. Sorry, guys. You daydream as you ride, like usual. Flights of fancy, of settling down somewhere. You're tired to Curly Wolf and his gang, though. Is it so much to ask to be able to live in peace? To not have to fight for survival? Always on the run? Maybe that's what your life will always be like, gang or not. A hunted outcast. They could have sent you off with some playing cards at the very least. You come to an outcropping near a cliff. Tying up your horse, you approach the edge and see the town come into view. A nice frontier town, small but clearly bustling with people. White painted signs on the wooden buildings glint and bloom in the midday sun. You can't see much else from way up here, and turn to go get your binoculars. You open your saddlebag and pull out a metal binoculars out, brushing it against your poncho to dust off the lens. Turning back to the walk of the edge, a figure suddenly rounds the corner of the large rock you decide to set up camp under. Ah! Out of instinct, your hand snaps to your holster gun and pulls it, trained squarely at the head of the new person. The bird, who seemingly came from nowhere, looks at you, clearly just as surprised and out of sorts from your own presence. Shifts backwards, eyeing your hand on your gun. The air feels very stiff all of a sudden, and given you have the upper hand, you could take a moment to look at who you just crossed paths with. He's definitely an outlaw, like yourself. A rugged beak, shining in the sun centuries, a face you admittedly find charming. His face and arms are marked with scars, and a large sawn-off shotgun hangs from his holster. Since he's a bird you know to be wary, just like he'll know to be wary of a canid yourself.
Howdy there. What's your name, partner?
Joseph.
And what you doing all the way out here, Joseph? You seem a dreadful long way away from where one might think you should be.
I could ask the same question. You stare at him dead in the eye. It's pretty calm for someone having a gun pointed at his head, but you can see some of his feathers quivering.
Were you trying to sneak up on me, Joseph? Rob me blind where no one else can see? I bet you thought your fella missing an arm would be easy.
No, sir. I had no idea you were here till I walked around this here rock. He pats the red stone beside him as if to make a point. Sir, what in Sam Hill? You lower your gun like you should, joint, like your shoulder joint just gave out, and let it hang there.
In all my years, no stranger has ever called me sir.
Well, color me surprised, fella. You'd have to be blind or full of ticks to not see an upstanding young gentleman.
All right. Now you're just licking my boots.
The hawk puts a hand to his chest.
God as my witness, I ain't lying to you.
You holster your gun and snorts a small laugh.
May he strike you down as penance then. What are you doing out here, picking flowers?
The smile drops from his face. He stops short and swallows, like he can't bear to say the next words. I'm part of the Black Vulture gang. I'm on the lookout here to survey this here burg.
That's very forward of you. Considering I just had a gun pointed your way. I'm part of the Curly Wolf gang.
Well, I'll be damned. You boys have been all over the West. What brings you right here? Okay, just for that gender conforming, I like Joseph. I like Joseph too.
Much the same as you, I would imagine. Rumors of gold.
You have it right.
Well, I can imagine my boss might want me to do. Come across someone who's sticking their beak into our business.
Joseph tenses up, feathers ruffled. He understands full well that you mean conflicting interests and all.
But he's not here. Would be a real waste of a good bullet to use it on you.
Is that an insult or you're trying to make a mash on me? A small jibe is enough to make you stop talking and search for the binoculars you threw when you pulled your gun. Turning your face away to hide the blood rushing to your cheeks, you to your cheeks under your dark fur. Also, just realized I should have the YouTube chat open. I'm so sorry. Hi, AM. Oh my goodness, my fault. I'm liking this visual novel so far, gender confirming and all. Alright, maybe I should stand for this. He dusts the binoculars off again and walk over to where Joseph's standing, his eyes keenly trained on the town.
Don't need no binoculars then, huh?
No, sir. These eyes can see all the faces of those people down there, no problem. Sir again. Maybe it's just a habit of his to call people that. Oh yeah, hold the phone. We do gotta shout out the creators. The creators being Cool Doggo, Cold Doggo, and Paranoid Hawk. These fucking texts I can read. I can finally read, guys. I love this. Shout out to the creators for this. Like, this is very readable and legible for me to, like, they're big and large print and I love it. Love it. My God. Costs nothing to be kind on the trail I found. What else to call you then? You thought this might come up. Of course, you're surprised it took so long for him to ask about who you are, or what you are. Most will say tomboy, I would think, or other things I wouldn't repeat in such polite company. And what would you call yourself? The question takes you by surprise, something else no one has ever asked you. I call myself a man. Huh, that's so. He's gonna think you're a nut now. You just know it. You'd be better getting on your horse right now and running back then and staying another second around this stranger. How funny. I guess we're in the same boat if I'm picking up what you're putting down. Might say that the guys at Camp Jonah used Shove the Queer to talk about money. You nod at him, unsure whether to laugh or not. Neither of you seems sure what to say now. Instead, you hold your binoculars to the bridge of your nose and investigate the town, looking down into the valley. My goodness. After a spell of looking at nothing in particular in silence, you take the binoculars away from your face again, readjusting to the late morning night. You glance at Joseph's keenly trained eyes and back to the town. You can't help but stare at that clump of a couple dozen or so buildings. You couldn't help but think about the real people's lives going on there. Every day. Days, celebrations, harvest, prayers. How you were gonna hurt them. How you were both gonna hurt them. I just don't get it. Joseph's voice snaps you out of your staring. Why would black vultures want to come here? There's nothing here. No mines in use, no bank, and they sure as hell ain't rich by the looks of things. Maybe they struck a new vein. This is a miner's town after all. But you're right, something strange going on. Well, two sets of eyes are better than one, right? You want to work together? You watch my back, I watch yours. Deal? A huge feathered hand shoots out at you in expectation. You look at his face and you both lock eyes for just a moment. You're not sure what, but there's something in his eyes that makes you feel seen. Being looked at rather than through. Also, hi, scared it. Oh, they're so cute! Oh my God! You gently grab his hand and a second winged hand clasps on and gives your whole arm a big shake. Whoa! Careful there! Don't need to lose another! He lets go and puts his hand on his hip, smiling at you. Hey, come on now. Let's get on down there. He walks past you and heads towards the winding rocky path down the side of the valley cliff. You take a moment to look at the town again, walking along the cliff edge to catch up with Joseph. My God, we do love a Joseph. Wonder if you could see how red your face had been under your black fur. My goodness. Clambering down the cliff face, the shade of the valley is a welcome change after your long ride in the sun. The climb down is quiet. Only a few grunts and gripes, a couple of voices of concern from Joseph. You quickly waved off. You both approach a wooden sign you spotted a little ways off, swaying in the desert wind. It looked relatively new, a board hanging on 2 chains, a word carved into wood. Can you read it? It was only a single word, but you couldn't piece together quite how to say it. No. Ah, well, I'm sure someone will tell us. You notice some familiar smells drift on the wind as a gust blows through the town past you. Tobacco smoke, whiskey, stewing meat from somewhere. It reminded you of the camp. Walking more into town, you get a better look at the buildings that were just docked upon a cliff. There was a saloon, at least seemingly one of the older buildings in town, as well as what you guessed was the sheriff's building, although the sign outside looked to be busted up. And I will take a sip of my water because my throat do be parched. I hope everyone's enjoying. Oh my god. I hope everyone's enjoying this so far because honestly, I love the art style. I'm loving the story so far. It just feels nice. I really do love it. I'm gonna end up looking up fan art of this later, or maybe draw some. It's been a while. Ugh. Everything else you could see from here seemed to be the house and whatnot. Houses and whatnot. Leftovers, clearly made by miners, not built to be sturdy or last long, but have been fixed up to be livable for folks. Clearly, the people here like this place, and if they get a whiff of why you're both here. Whew! Alright, partner. I say if we get given any evil eyes if we hightail it out here, ain't worth getting shot in a place like this. Sure thing. We got each other's backs, remember? Also, yeah, this is a breath of fresh air compared to the psychological horrors we've been playing recently. Oh, I love this. He nodded at him. We'd best get talking to people. Daylight's burning. Oh yeah, the hats are floating in the air. They're just so cute. They're just hovering. Honestly, I thought our tail was our arm, like a severed arm floating for a second there. And then I looked closely and it's like, it's a tail. Oh, here comes someone now. Sure enough, you see a short figure approaching you from the sheriff's office. You hear the pound of a cane on the dirt as they limp towards you with a vigor in their step. When they get closer, and the haze of the desert heat obscures them less, you see a smartly dressed old lizard standing before you both. Cane in one hand and a metal flask in the other. Howdy, fellas. I'm Sheriff. Welcome to Clemency. A pleasure to meet you, Sheriff. He gave the lizard an expectant look, waiting for a name. My name's Sheriff. It's just Sheriff. That's all you need to know. And what do I call yourselves? My name's Joseph, and my associate here is... He gestured towards you and turned to look at you, a subtle panic running across his eyes. You realize that he just realized you never gave your name. What is your name? We'll keep the names. We'll keep the name Robin. Robin. That's a cute name. I'm Robin. Pleasure to meet you. You said this while looking at Joseph, resisting the urge to wink at him before looking back to the sheriff. So, what brings you two to our fine town? We're just riding through. Needed to rest stop. There's a problem with that? Joseph nudges you with his elbow a bit. Glancing at his eyes, you can tell he's saying, don't be so rude. No, I'm not. Not at all. I'm just the closest thing we have to a welcome committee. It's always nice to see some new faces all the way out here. How long will you be staying? The saloon has some rooms if you'd like to stay the night. That's awful kind offer, Sheriff, but we'll be gone before nightfall. At least that's the idea. Maybe we'll like this town so much we stay. Joseph and the sheriff both chuckle, and Sheriff sighs.
Well, you boys let me know if you need anything else. I'll be at home most likely.
Will do.
Yep.
With the tip of his hat, the sheriff turned and started walking back to the building at the end of the road. With the lizard out of earshot, Joseph turns to you. So, partner, what's our plan? Look around the town for a moment, surveying the handful of people walking about, talking to each other and other around their houses. Taking in the warm wind blowing past you with a deep breath.
We get talking to folks.
And what? They just run their mouth all the gold they found?
No, but I reckon a town this size, if they've struck something, there'll be a buzz about it. We ask them about themselves, about the town, something will spill sooner or later.
All right then. Got a pretty good peep at the place on the way down. We got a saloon just here. We got some sort of town hall over there on the far side. And we got the sheriff's station at the end of the road by the looks of it. Where to? Also, thank you for the care package. I will drink and stretch my leggies. Oh my god. Let's go to the saloon first.
Let's check the saloon.
I reckon if anyone knows anything about these rumors, it'll be in there. Alrighty then. Oh, he's so cute. Walking through the doors of the saloon, you're hit with the very familiar scent of tobacco and alcohol hanging in the air. A couple of patrons drink and talk quietly in the corner, not taking any notice of you two. You see a dozen or so tables looking up. There's a second floor with the room sheriff mentioned.
Oh, howdy there.
Your attention is grabbed by an excitable and friendly voice coming from a short bird standing behind the bar, who was now grabbing a couple glasses.
My name's Bartholomew. What can I get you fellas?
He started wiping the glasses expectantly, glancing between you both as you walked a few steps from the doors to stand at the bar. I'll get a beer.
All right then. And you? I'll have what he's having. Yep, come right up.
He sets the mugs down and disappeared through the door behind the bar into the back rooms.
I don't have any money on me, Joseph.
Don't worry about that. It's on me. He pats you on the back with a big wing and a couple of times, but withdrew his hand when he saw you wince a little. Oh, sorry. Was that too hard?
No, you're fine.
You hadn't winced from pain. You just weren't used to someone touching you like that, at least, friend lack. Bartholomew reappeared with 2 glasses of bottles, tipping them into mugs. With satisfying glugs before taking a couple coins from Joseph. Oh my god, hiccups. Sometimes if I go too long in Southern, apparently I get hiccups. Before taking a couple coins from Joseph.
Thank you kindly.
You both take a sip. Joseph seems to enjoy it, but you find it a bit more bitter. You try not to pull a face. Not like it? Your southern alter ego trying to appear. A caro normal lady. Not like it? You smile weakly. Not my thing. Noted. He winks at you and you feel your cheeks redden a little. You both keep drinking while the bartender busies himself behind the bar. The saloon is quiet. A piano sits gathering dust in the corner, seemingly untouched from many moons. Wind whistles through a gap in the saloon doors, carrying the sound of desert insects. Slow day, huh? You look up from your drink and see he's looking at the bartender, who doesn't seem to have taken any notice. He glances at both of you both, and realize rather sheepishly he was being talked to.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Slow day? Nah, this is about the usual. Gets a lot more lively in the evenings when the sun goes down. Everyone comes here to take a load off.
So you know everyone here pretty well then?
Well, of course. Not exactly a big town, but we're pretty tight-knit a lot here. Why's that? This is a mining town, right? These places usually explode with people. Well, I can't say much.
He looks oddly unsettled by your question. How long have you lived here for? He perks up again from whatever you said that troubled him, the brightness returning to his voice.
Oh, well, I'd say somewhere close to 8 years.
That's a darn long time.
Yeah, I suppose it is. What made you stay?
Never mind staying. How'd you find this place? I'd never heard of it till we stumbled past. Bartholomew's cheery smile dropped a little, morphing into something more wistful, like the face of someone looking at an old, now bittersweet photograph.
You boys ask a lot of questions, don't you?
You and Joseph look at each other for a moment, expecting the other to say something, but nothing comes out.
I don't mind. It gives it a fair shake. This town ain't the most exciting. It's nice to talk to some new ears that ain't tired of my squawking already.
He gives a little half-hearted chuckle.
Yeah. Well, I found this place because I heard about there being gold. Like a lot of folks, I was fixing to get my fill.
You and Joseph both lean in a little in the mention of gold.
My fiance was running away from home, and I was going with him. We thought we'd go out west and make our fortune. Looking back on it, I get why so many called us foolish. I might have been one of them if it weren't the other way around. But we had our hearts set on it. We followed the road by wagon, and it was damn tough, hellish even. Thank our lucky stars we made it here to clemency on a wing and a prayer. That was when we really felt like we were foolish. When we got here, talking about gold, we almost got ran out of town. I don't know the details, but there's a lot of trouble here when the miners ran this place. No one's been digging for decades, but word hasn't traveled far enough, it seems, to let us know at a time. At first, the sheriff told us to leave. Didn't want no more of our kind causing trouble. But when sheriff saw how stuck we were, how we had nowhere else to go, how rough the journey has been on us, sheriff's nothing if kind. Could see we weren't troublemakers, just want a better life somewhere. He shrugged, like there was nothing more to it. With the town's help, we gussied up this here saloon and into something I could run. The rest is history.
I'm glad you found something here.
Yeah, I could say that for sure. Clemency may be small, but it's something real special if you ask me. So there's no gold here?
Bartholomew leaned back against the shelves behind him, crossing his arms.
Not as far as I know. The mines are around here somewhere, but I've never seen them. This hasn't been a mining town for a long time. Folks here don't think of it as one. You do well to keep that in mind. He tapped the side of his beak as if to say, if you catch my drift.
Even so, how I would be interested in the history of this town.
Afraid that well runs dry here. But there's others who have been here far longer than I have. You can always talk to the sheriff if you haven't yet. Sheriff's made this place what it is today.
Wanna know something? That's the lizards. Wanna know something? That's the lizard to talk to. Your chimneys are where it's at, honestly. Thank you, Bartholomew. No problem, it's my pleasure. Bartholomew stood up from his lean and stretched his back and arms a little. Slinging his cloth over his shoulder, he picked up a small clinking and rattling box before walking through the back rooms. Daylight's burning. I think we best get going. Agreed. You stood at the bar and waited a moment while Joseph downed his beer, and then yours too. Hope you can hold that. You can hold that. Oh, please. How little how little you must think of me. Only a couple beers. You should have seen me at the Long Branch in Dodge. Drank the entire gang under the table. You can't help but smile at his cockiness, unsure whether to believe him. You briefly think back on the times the gang has gone to bars. You were always told to stay outside and don't wander off. A dog on a leash waiting for his master to come back. Staring into lamplit streets and hearing the braying crowds all around you. Drunken strangers enjoying each other's company and as much as their liquor. At first, they told you it was dangerous for you to stray too far. Then they started telling you to stay outside after you beaten the teeth out of a guy in an alley who you knew had been staring at you. Couldn't have you causing them needless trouble. Off so soon? Bartholomew reemerged into the bar looking expectantly. Well, don't be a stranger, strangers. You're welcome to come back later when the bar's more lively. My husband would love to meet you both. The casual lit of his words caught you off guard, and you think you see Joseph stumble a little. Falling to get any words out, he tips his hat, and you both leave the saloon, stepping back into the dust and dry desert heat. Oh my God, are we raiding a gay town? Is this a gay mining town? Oh my God, no, we can't rob them. That's homophobic. On the day of Pride? No, we can't do this. Damn. My God. Oh. Let me stretch my hands a bit. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Whew. Where to? Let's see. Let's save here real quick. So we just have things. Let's go to town hall before we go. I mean, should we go to town hall first? Oh, hush, you precious blueberry. Oh, what? No, we can't rob this place. It's a gay town. It's my kind of town. Let's go to town hall. There might be a meeting we could drop in on at town hall. Seems worth a look. Sounds good to me. I wouldn't mind sitting down for a spell either. You both start walking to the outskirts of the town, weaving between the clumps of houses and down the dirt banks. You keep walking on a flat stretch, smooth and compacted from the frequent travels of people. Some townsfolk on their porches wave at you or give a little afternoon as you pass on by. Is it me, or does it feel like everyone here is nicer than most? Well, maybe, but I ain't complaining. He gives an enthusiastic wave to a small kid shyly hanging around outside their house under the shade. I could get used to folks being nice to me. They not usually? I mean, I don't stray far from the gang a lot of times. Maybe this is normal. Yeah, I suppose. I wouldn't know either. You arrived at the large wooden building you'd been heading towards, and noting how similar to a chapel it looked. Joseph walks up to the small steps and opens the door with a rattle, holding it open for you. Thank you kindly. He starts to follow you in the short, darkened hallway, closing the door behind him with another wooden rattle. Oh my goodness. This is what I get for waking up at 7 a.m. I'm just so drowsy today. We might cut it off after like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So like we'll do a good full 2 hours for this one instead of 3. The meeting hall is fairly large and simple and bright. The wood walls are varnished and gleaming from the ample sunlight filtering through the arch windows. Don't underestimate how the people you spend the most time with colors your perception of what normal people behavior is. True. Rows of benches line the aisles, half facing away and half facing towards you on each side. Sitting on a nearby bench, turned away from you is a hunched figure in black. Hearing you come in, the figure jumps to life, rising from his seat. They turn to both of you, revealing themselves to be an elderly tortoise, holding a small book in one hand. Ah, do my eyes deceive me, or do I see new visitors in our town? He walks with a characteristic slowness of someone his age and nature down the aisle towards you both, but with a surprisingly spring in his step. He tucks the book under one arm and extends both hands to shake hands with Joseph and then you. Oh, welcome to Clemency and to our meeting hall. I'm Jacob, and what might your names be? I'm Joseph, and this here is my associate, Robin. Pleasure to meet you. I assure you, the pleasure's all mine. It has been a good while since we had fresh faces around here. Now, you'll have to excuse me, but I have some business to attend to quickly. Feel free to sit and pray until I return if you wish, though. Before you can ask any more questions, he shuffles between you both and out the door. Oh my god. Hold up. Oh my god. Maybe I do have to turn off the AC. You and Joseph look at each other quizzically, sitting down on the nearest bench together. What did he say? Sit and pray here? That's what I heard too. Is this a meeting hall for prayer? The meeting house of God? I don't get it. You can't help but smile at his musings as he looks around the room, looking to the rafters of the ceiling before turning back to you. You lock eyes with him, staring into the honey, gold, and brown-streaked rings of his keen gaze. He smiles at you coyly and looks away, readjusting in his seat. You realize you were holding your breath. You sit up on the bench more, too. The hard wood at your back reminds you of the church days. All the fuss and protests against your mother about your Sunday best. You don't miss the frills and laces at all. You do miss singing hymns with her, though. She had a beautiful voice. Hiss. I don't remember the last time I prayed. Don't cross my mind very much. Can't say you're missing anything. All the good it'll do you. Not a believer? I don't want to believe. I want to blaspheme. But God's done a whole lot of jack squat to help me with my life. My goodness. Don't really feel like praying to someone who doesn't care about me. Or anyone like me for that matter. Which is why I wouldn't even peg you for a devout man. Joseph laughed a bit, almost mocking the idea. Robin with a straight head. Oh my god. Hi, Cup. No, don't think anyone could have accused me of that. Not with some of the things I've done. But I still pray. Only the Lord knows if he's listening. But it helps me remind me what's important to me. A lot of the time, I just pray for family, hope they're doing fine.
I hope they are too.
There was a momentary silence between you, like a subtle shift of the coals in a long, burning fire, now snuffed by the door rattling open again. You look behind you as, sure enough, it was Jacob shuffling in. He grabs a broom and briefly sweeps on the dust he tracked in back outside before closing the door with another rattle.
Forgive me for my for the delay. I hope I haven't kept you two from your business.
Don't worry yourself. We're doing just fine here. He leaned into and nudged you playfully.
Good. So, how may I help you, gentlemen?
The word catches you off guard a little. The way it trips off his tongue so easily. No bitterness or mockery. Joseph seems to stall for a moment before a little wry smile returns to his face. He adjusts in his seat to turn to Jacob, who had now taken a seat facing you on another bench. Well, we're just passing through, but I'm curious. You mentioned something about prayer?
Well, yeah, of course. You must forgive me. I'm clearly far too used to the usuals of this town.
Water drinking time. Comfy hasn't had coffee at all today, so I'm feeling a little drowsy from the lack of caffeine. Just a heads up, everyone. So if I end this a little earlier than normal, it's because I'm starting to feel drowsy and I don't want to pass out on stream. You know what they say, mental health and well-being comes first before anything. So we're going to continue as long as we can until I feel super drowsy. Damn, that town seems so welcoming. Honestly, this town's been super welcoming.
This is a town meeting hall for friends, Quakers, and, if you will, we're largely Quaker community here in Clemency.
Quakers? Quackers? Oh, yeah, there's a lot of you folks over in Pennsylvania. The likes ain't there.
Yes, indeed, that's true. In fact, that is where I hail from. But I must admit, it had been a long time since I last visited. Oh, so sorry. I've got to say, I'm out of sea here. I've never even heard of Quakers.
Can't say I'm much more enlightened than myself. I don't know nothing about them. You both turned to Jacob expectantly.
Well, what's the simplest way I can explain our beliefs?
He fell into deep thought for a few moments, eyes staring into the middle distance before coming back to life.
We believe that there is that of God in everyone. That we all have a inner light that guides us. We don't perform sermons or sing hymns. Instead, we pray in silence together. There are no guidelines as to what you should do other than try to connect and listen to the light within yourself. We also very strongly believe in pacifism and do what we can to promote peace, denouncing all forms of violence and the degradation of our fellow who walk the earth with us. It's important to respect the light of God within everyone. That's certainly how I see it. That sounds nice, but, well, things don't often work that way, in my experience.
Jacob smiled wisely, like having heard the same sentiment many times before. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there certainly
certainly some that adhere to it more than others in this town, but it's always been important tending to our community. So, everyone in this town are Quakers? Well, yeah, and no. Many of us are, but some of us more so just adhere to the same principles and the ideals of nonviolence and so forth. Quakerism isn't enforced, but it bonds this community. Huh, interesting. What about old Sheriff? Oh my god. What about Sheriff? With the pacifism and whatnot, doesn't seem like it'd be easy. Oh, well, yeah, I can see how you might suppose that. The Sheriff cares about keeping the peace, but isn't solely responsible for it. We all are. There's about to become a duo to guard the town from their own camp. Yeah, honestly, it feels like it's coming close to that. Oh my god. My eyes just drifted for a bit. Okay, maybe I will end it a little early. I'm probably gonna end it at 8. We might just do this for an hour because I'm feeling really, really tired. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought I'd get enough energy for more. Ugh. It's what made this town so easy to keep going. Me and Sheriff, I see eye to eye many things. So you and Sheriff have been here for a while then. Did you find the place or something? You'd have believed it by the tortoise's age. He could definitely be as old as this town. No, you flatter me, for I am not quite that pioneering, but I have indeed been here for a long time. If you indulge me, I could tell you a little about my story. Please do. Jacob nodded, again drifting off into thought for a moment before coming back with his words. And we're gonna save it here. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna knock out. It's not for the story. It's not because of the story. It's because A, I woke up at 6 in the morning today by something banging on my door. And B, I have no coffee today. I have no coffee in the fridge. So yeah, we're gonna just save it here. Oh my god, this was like such a quick thing. I'm so sorry, guys. This is not normally how we do things, and y'all know that already. Oh my goodness. Blech. Oh yeah. We are gonna go head to bed. Oh my god. I feel so bad. I feel really bad. I'm just like, ugh. It's just today. It's okay. It gives you a good reason to go to bed earlier. I love you guys. But yeah, for both sides of YouTube, from YouTube and Twitch, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to hit that bell icon to get notified on our next visual novel. Tomorrow, we're going to do something a little different since Mako cannot join us. We are going to do a podcast with just the boys tomorrow. So we'll see what happens tomorrow afternoon. And yeah. Let's see, what else do I have to say? Thank you all for watching. I hope you stay comfy, cozy in this owl cottage. And I will see y'all tomorrow for some more video game playing. All right? Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. And always remember, stay comfy, stay cozy, and be safe. All right? Have a good night, everybody. And make sure to drink some water. Hoot-hoot! Oh shit, I forgot to start the timer earlier. Fuck. Well, can't help with that. All right, good night, everybody.